What's up, everyone? Welcome back to WillND, and I'm here with my pal Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports. We are back for the summer to start talking some sports again. Jeffrey, how was your vacation?
It's been nice. Definitely a much needed vacation. I've been busy doing a ton of stuff, and sometimes you just got to get away, take a break, take a vacation. It's been great. But like Will said, back for the summer. I don't know how many streams or live streams we'll be able to do, or how many videos I'm gonna be able to do specifically. I know you've been making some videos as well, and you've been doing great over the
A little bit, yeah.
channel, but. Yeah, I have not been very consistent lately, but definitely glad to be back. It's nice to talk some sports with you, Will, and football and basketball. We got a ton of stuff to talk about in the next hour and a half, however long we do decide to go. But it's I can't wait.
Yeah, my mom's on vacation, but I have to work. No vacation for me, so with my sister. Yeah.
It is good. It's good on that, but it stinks. You got to work though.
Yeah, they're in Tuskegee. I don't know if you were that. It's Western Carolina, so.
Yeah, that's cool on that. That's awesome. Pretty area out there.
Yeah. But the NBA Finals, that the Halliburton continues to roll as he beat the Buster to beat the OKC in Game 1. How do you foresee the rest of the series going?
Well, I'm kind of conflicted because back when I made my NBA predictions, for the whole playoffs with Austin last month, I predicted the Celtics to beat the Thunder in the finals. The Celtics obviously didn't make it because Jason Tatum got hurt, and even if he didn't get hurt, we don't know if they would have won anyway. So you would think because I had the Thunder making it, that I would logically go with the Thunder to win it all, since I had them making it all the way, and I didn't even have the Pacers going all the way. The problem is that the Pacers just keep on defying all odds. They keep on defying expectations all the way around. I mean, the Knicks series found ways to win games. I mean, you remember the one game that it was Halliburton. He hit that shot where it hit the back iron, went straight up and in, and then they ended up winning in overtime. And I'm like, all right, are they just destined here? They just, everything's going their way. It's unreal. Last game, Game 1 against the Thunder, Halliburton hits a game winner again. I mean, you have two of the most clutch guys in the NBA in this series with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Tyrese Halliburton, who prior to probably this year, most casual NBA fans did not know much about Halliburton. I mean, I'm sure most people knew who he was, but he's exploded on the scene. I mean, he has been unreal. And I saw some crazy stat prior to the Game 1 that he just had another game winner. He was 12 of 14 in clutch time in this playoffs, which is insane. To think that you're that accurate consistently at dire moments of a game, at the end of the game. So my gut all wants to tell me to pick the Thunder because of how awesome that they've been this year to win the series. But the Pacers already have won Game 1. And like I said, they just keep defying all odds. They have such an energetic team because it's not just Halliburton. I mean, he puts up great assist numbers because the rest of his team's really good. I mean, when you look at Pascal Siakam, such a great ad that they got him, and you look at Nembhard, you look at some other players. They got Miles Turner's really good. They got a good team. TJ McConnell, just such an underrated player he is. He comes. Obi Toppin's been playing a lot better. They got a good team. I mean, and
Thomas Bryant, your boy.
Thomas Bryant, and yeah, Thomas Bryant, it'd be really cool to see him get a ring for the Pacers. It'd be cool. I mean, he's done well off the bench, kind of revitalized his career because he wasn't really doing anything for a while. But then when you look at the Thunder roster, you have all those great players: SGA, Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. It's just
Chet. I mean, Chet needs to play better. He had a stinker in Game 1. Chet did. Jalen Williams didn't play his best either.
That's fair. That people have been complaining about Chet's performance, but I will say in his defense, he is the youngest out of the stars for the Thunder because they were talking about age. Jalen Williams,
Jalen Williams we have the same birthday.
Wow, that's awesome on that. And SGA is 26 or something like that, 27. So, definitely Chet Holmgren. He's still young, and he had that injury that he hasn't, played at a high level in the NBA for many years. It's been a couple now, I think 2 years, but maybe that inexperience for him is kind of biting him a bit in the playoffs. And plus, when you think about the Thunder, they're such a fast team. How many teams can match their speed? I don't know if there's anybody except the Pacers. They're quick. They can run and gun with them better than anyone else can, even better than the Celtics, who I thought, like I said, would win it all because they did it last year. But the Thunder have gotten so much better. I remember saying, because I did a live stream watching the Thunder when they lost last year, and I was like, this team is here to stay. Like, they're not going anywhere. They're going to get better and better, and yeah, they have. But no one foresaw the Pacers coming out of nowhere like this. I mean, I knew that they were quietly brewing a good team because they were making good trades, but they're unreal how good they are. I'm going to let you pick first on who you think's going to win the series because, honestly, I'm torn.
My friend told me Pacers in 5. I don't know about that. I'm going to go Pacers in 6. I think they're going to do it. They just have that team of destiny vibe. And I think this will be a learning experience for the Thunder, like kind of like the Heat in 2011.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I mean, all I know is prior to this series, again, all Thunder. I thought Thunder were going to win. I mean, I've been amazed with the Pacers, but I just felt that the Thunder had the best team in the NBA. I still think they do. I think the Celtics have the best team structured-wise, which I don't know if that makes sense, but the Celtics are kind of they're off right now. Tatum's obviously he's banged up for a while now. It sucks, and Jaylen Brown played poor. Kristaps was awful, so they just didn't match what they did last year. The Thunder have just gotten so much better from last year, which is why they're so dangerous and why I feel like right now they're playing like the best team. But then again, the Pacers. I just don't know though. Are they legitimately better than the Thunder, or have they been lucky? See, I don't want to say lucky because they've been good for so long, but I don't know. It's hard to explain because the way they're winning, they keep winning such close, weird games that I don't know, again, if they're the better team, but the better team doesn't always win in basketball. In football, absolutely, they usually do. I mean, it's rare when a big underdog wins. It's rare. It can happen, but typically that better team has to play really poorly. But in basketball, the underdog can win. Usually that's what makes March Madness so crazy because Cinderella's win all the time. But with the NBA, you have a game of 7. So typically that better team does figure it out and win in the end. But I don't know. The Pacers are just they're really good. They're insanely good. They run and gun up and down the floor. They hit a ton of shots, and they've been clutch. I just don't know if that's going to run out. I agree with you. They feel like a team of destiny at this point, but
another thing for me is that Rick Carlisle's been here before. Mark Daigneault, this is his first run at the finals.
That's fair.
Carlisle has had experience with the Mavericks, and I just feel like his team may be more well prepared.
Are the Pacers now favored to win the series? Because that's another thing. I'm wondering, what are the odds saying? I don't normally like going that direction, but I'm kind of intrigued to see which team is actually favored to win the series at this point. Whether they're still giving the Thunder the edge.
They're still giving the Thunder more than a 3-1 edge.
See, that's steep. That is steep still, honestly. Especially considering what they've done. The Pacers. I think it's going to 7 games. I'm going to predict that for sure. I know it's going to 7 in my mind. Because I don't think the Thunder are going to back down. I don't know. It's going to be so close because, like I said, you've got 2 of the best clutch players in the league. It all depends, honestly, to me, on the role players. Is Chet going to step up? Is Jalen Williams going to step up? Because even though Tyrese Halliburton has been insane and he's been hitting all these clutch shots, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's the best player on both sides for both teams. He's the best player. But that doesn't necessarily matter if the role players are stepping up so much. Because like you said, I mean, a guy like Thomas Bryant, who is just not, thought of as an important player, he stepped up in some games. He's contributed well for the Pacers, and he's like the 8th man. He's like the ninth man or whatever. And you got your TJ McConnell type of player who's just gritty and plays hard. I mean, Obi Toppin's been incredible. I mean, he's been playing so well. His thunderous dunks, I mean, he's been highlight reel material. We knew that he had it in him when he was at Dayton, but he kind of started out a little shaky, to start his NBA career. But he's been playing so much better. I don't know, man. I really don't like keep beating around the bush, but I think it's going to go down to 7. I don't really want to pick against Indiana either because I'm not a massive Pacers fan. I'm more, I like Indiana basketball, football better. But it's kind of hard to go against Indiana, I guess. But I really gut told me to pick the Thunder. But you know what? I guess since they've been so clutch, I'll go with the Pacers in 7. I didn't want to do it, but they
all right, we're both going for the Pacers.
Pacers in 7. I'll go with that. I almost went Thunder in 7. It's this close. And pick mine age terribly because people love to say that when you're wrong. Oh, this aged terribly. Some people do it in jest, like it's funny, and I laugh. But then other people are like, oh, I don't really care about that. I mean, I make a prediction based off feels, and usually, and my gut says Thunder, but sometimes my gut's wrong. And I think the Pacers are just playing so well, that they might actually get it done. So we'll see. Regardless, I think it's going to 7 games, and I hope that it is an elite series. I hope it's one of the best we've seen in recent years because it feels like lately some of the final series haven't been that good. I hope this one is really good, like all the way to the end. Kind of like that game 1.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's take a look at the ACC here. And I'm bringing up, I brought up the transfer portals, additions and departures for each team to help us out here.
Mm-hmm.
As the first team we're going to look at is Bill O'Brien's Boston College team. Jeffrey's favorite team. As from our past experiences of him saying they shouldn't be in a bowl game.
Yeah. Boston College, I have had in the past, I've had issues with BC. And Jason O, I remember him. He would always get so mad at me for my BC. I don't even want to, it wasn't hate. I didn't hate BC. It was more of just like my lack of, I didn't believe in them. My lack of faith in them actually being good. I have my biggest pet peeve, I guess, when it comes to talking about teams is when a team that is no good or not very good, people just suddenly start hyping up for no reason. That to me is probably what gets me most frustrated about a football team. And that's when I start talking against them. I mean, that's just the way I am. It's like even Austin's Louisville team. I got nothing against Louisville. I like Louisville. But that year when people were saying Louisville was the best team in the ACC, they were like top 10 and all. No, they were not. And you saw what Louisville did this past year with a tougher schedule. They crashed back down to earth. I felt Louisville was better this year almost, but they had a
They were. I think they might have been better.
That's the thing. Like,
but I mean, the thing with Louisville is they had the great performance like they did against Clemson and almost beating Notre Dame, and then they had those crappy performances against Stanford.
Yeah. So it is what it is. It's just one of those things where I don't like talking bad about certain teams, but when it comes to certain, I don't like hype when it's not deserved. Certain teams get too much hype in certain seasons. And BC that year with Castellanos, when they went 6-6, they were terrible. They were a horrible team. They barely beat Holy Cross and all these other garbage teams, and yet people were saying they were legitimately good. And I'm like, okay. Castellanos was pretty good, but the rest of the team was not. Now, previewing BC, I mean, I don't really know anything about the roster at all.
Okay.
I can't say I know anything about it.
So BC, they picked up 2 Bama boys this year. Dylan Lonergan, quarterback.
Oh, yeah. I did remember seeing that now that you say it, yeah.
And Ty Lockwood, tight end.
Well, I mean, I don't know how good Lonergan is because he was so far down the depth chart. But, I mean, always getting someone from a program like that, like Alabama, that's a good thing. But he's going to need protection because Castellano sure did not get protection. Phil Dracovic didn't either.
Mm-hmm. So, but their departures were, of course, Castellanos going to Florida State. Although he lost the job last year, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who was starting ahead of him?
I can't remember. That's a great question. It's just one of those things. Like I said, there's so many teams, there's so many players. It's hard to remember sometimes. But yeah, I cannot remember.
BC quarterback. Hannafin, right? Was that it?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Sounds familiar.
So they're going to be battling out for the job.
Mm-hmm.
And then they lost a bunch of guys to the portal. Some of them who are still in the portal. So that's not great for them.
Still in the portal, that means he's not that good. Okay, like he's not getting picked up.
But they had Duran Bradley go to Kansas State. That's the other really only high profile guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at their roster right now.
But he was only there for 1 year. He was at Texas Tech beforehand. So
I'm gonna try to pull up the over/under odds too for these teams.
Yes, that's a good idea, Jeffrey.
Because see what Vegas is saying as well for 2025. Because I know Indiana's at like 8.5, and I was like, wow, Indiana, they actually believe this time that they're gonna be something. Or 7. It's like at least 7.5 at some services. Yeah, Indiana's 8.5 on Vegas Insider. Where's BC? Oh, they're way down there. Okay.
But yeah, shout out to Hummus Hero for being here. And
appreciate that.
And Pitt Snipe Husker.
Yeah, the Husker set can't be Jeffrey. Always has a crimson bucket on his head. Yeah, I do. On the Alabama channel, I always have the big hat that it's not actually like an oversized hat. Everyone says it looks like it's 3 sizes too big for my head, but it is a normal size hat. I appreciate that though. But on my channel, I typically don't wear anything. I mean, I think I've done it a couple times when I'm talking about a certain team because I have a few hats from different teams. I've done it a couple times, but I usually stay more neutral on my channel. But on Alabama Voice College Football, definitely I'm pro Bama big time, But yeah, that's funny, and thanks Hummus Hero as well. Mm-hmm. Says on the over under on Vegas Insiders 5.5 for BC.
Well, all right. So, do you think they're beating Fordham? They should beat Fordham.
I think Bill O'Brien's, BC is more capable than Jeff Hafley. I would say they should win that game.
That Michigan State one's
swing game.
That's a swing.
Well, they won that game last year, right at home, or did Michigan State win? I can't remember.
I believe they won last year.
Yeah,
I can look. We can look. We can double check.
I'm pretty sure that BC won. I think.
No. Okay. They did.
Yes. It was a good game. I remember. I watched it. It went down to the wire. That game really hurt Michigan State, kind of doomed their season. I mean, these type of games between these mid programs like this, like kind of like North Carolina, North Carolina, Minnesota, Michigan State, Boston College. Those type of games kind of determine whether teams are going to make bowls or not. So if BC wins this game, then most likely they're on track to probably make a bowl like they did last year. That same with that Stanford game. I mean, that's another
and Cal.
Game. Yeah, they can start out 4-0 or 1-3.
Yeah.
At Pitt is a winnable game too, even though Pitt's a tough place to play.
We'll see if Holstein will turn Pitt around this year.
You look at the rest of their schedule. I mean, Clemson should be a loss. Louisville should be a loss. Notre Dame should be a loss, and SMU should be a loss, most likely. So that's 4. I can't say guaranteed, but that's 4 pretty much likely losses. UConn should be a win. Should. Georgia Tech's another swing game. People
are high on Georgia Tech this year. Some people are.
Some people are high on them
because the quarterback's coming back again. What's his name? What's that guy's name?
Haynes King.
Yes, Haynes King. Yeah, he's
still
coming back.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got to do a deep dive. Like while I've got more time to do videos and stuff in the summer, hopefully, I gotta do a deep dive on these rosters.
Haynes
Honestly,
King, I think Haynes King's like close to my age, but I think he did 5 years in high school. He did an extra year in high school. Now he's in his 6th year.
Yeah, it's kind of like Stetson Bennett at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the people call him the mailman.
Mm-hmm.
So funny. Yeah, I didn't know he was back. I got to do a deep dive on these rosters to find out who's where and what, because I saw a lot of the portal moves, but I didn't see everything. So yeah, that's a swing game. Probably, I mean, I would say lean loss, but
lean
at
loss.
home though. And who do they finish up with?
Syracuse.
That's another swing game.
Syracuse. Steve Angeli led Syracuse.
I'm seeing 5-7 or 6-6. I think
I was thinking 6-6 is the ceiling as well.
It is the ceiling. Yeah. I mean,
so I think Vegas got this one right.
I don't think Bill O'Brien's a bad coach, but I don't think he's gonna have him any better than that.
Yeah. I'll go 5-7.
5-7.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Tougher schedule this year.
And then I guess alphabetically we'll go to Clemson.
Yeah, we'll get the over-under for Clemson. I know it's a lot higher.
It'd be 10.5 probably.
9.5 according to Vegas Insider.
Okay. Yeah, I guess tough schedule, some tough games.
Yeah,
leading off with LSU. I mean, I just can't. Brian Kelly winning this sort of game. It just doesn't happen.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I mean, especially for you two, I'm hoping Clemson destroys them. I mean, I got nothing against LSU. I mean, I am a Bama fan, so there's a rivalry there. But I don't like loathe LSU, but with how underperforming they've done, and it makes me laugh because so many people keep telling me, oh, well, Brian Kelly, like, he's done well. He doesn't need to be fired. I'm not saying that he should be fired. Like, I understand that you got to be consistent with your analysis, of like, oh, I don't believe in coaches getting fired right off the bat, and then, oh, I'm saying Brian Kelly should be fired. But he's got all the resources in the world. He's got all the advantages in the world, the fan base, everything. And yet it's just not good enough. It's a lot of 8-4, 9-3. I mean, you went 8-5 with Jaden Daniels. Like, literally, he saved your job. And I don't believe in Nussmeier. I just don't. He's very turnover prone. Very turnover.
He's a statue in the pocket. He's not mobile.
Yeah, he throws 3 picks in games all the time. So, yeah, I think Clemson wins that game, and I hope they win that game.
Yeah,
it would be big for Clemson too because they haven't won a big game out of conference in a while.
Not since their national championship year in 2018. I can't think of anything.
So they need this one.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech on the road's a tough game. It's a tough game. Georgia Tech's gonna give it 110%. I don't know, can't definitively say they'll win that game, but they should win. But you never know. At UNC, North Carolina's given.
They're a wild card. Carolina is for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that fake accent, man, with Brian Kelly, that just set him off on the wrong foot at LSU. I mean, that was awful, man. That was awful. Yeah, I would say I think Georgia Tech would beat Clemson more likely than not. And I don't know if I'm going to have time to, like, do videos, for, like, the conferences, so if me and you, if we're able to keep doing these previews for every team, I don't know if I'll be able to do, like, my own videos for this stuff because, probably later on in, like, fall camp, I could get, like, better inclinations of what I think. But, yeah, I mean, I'll do a prediction now for every one of these and just kind of roll with it. It doesn't matter. If I'm able to do one again, or I might post them on X and just say, hey, this is my picks or whatever. Or just do shorts. I don't know. Of like my updated picks. These are like way too early predictions. But I mean, I think Georgia Tech's more likely a loss than North Carolina for Clemson if they were to beat SMU and BC.
It's at home.
SMU should be a win.
Yeah, it's at home.
BC should be a win. Duke, Florida State. I mean, honestly, their 2 toughest games other than LSU should be at Louisville and at South Carolina. I don't think Louisville is going to be great this year. I don't really know their situation though either.
Who they got someone in? I'm gonna look it up. I have the list up here of. Oh, they got Miller Moss.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now. Man,
Yeah.
Miller Moss, thanks. I mean, he's not bad. Will Brom do more with him than Lincoln Riley? I have no idea. Because, I mean, in Jeff Brom's defense, he has gotten a good bit out of quarterbacks that I don't think are great. I mean, Plummer, I didn't think Plummer was any good at all. I thought he was terrible, and somehow Louisville, he got enough out of him. And Shaw, or however you say his last name, Tyler Shaw, he was injury prone throughout his career, and somehow he got him drafted in the second round.
The last player ever drafted that was born in the 90s, Tyler Shug.
That's crazy to think about right there. He played for a long time. But, yeah, I mean, could he get more out of Miller Moss? Probably. But what do you say? I mean, it's
I'm saying 11-1. Yeah. 11-1 win the ACC. Do you agree, or?
I mean, Klubnik, it depends on how much better he is in the team as a whole. I mean, I know didn't Dabo kind of use the portal a bit?
He got Ja'Cory Brooks from Bama.
Mm-hmm.
He got Jeremiah Alexander as well.
Okay, so he started to use the portal, so a little bit. So
he got Addison Nichols from Tennessee, a lineman, cornerback Marcus Harris from Cal, and tight end Jake Johnson from A&M.
Wow, I mean, I was about to say 10-2, but then, I mean, because that's been their biggest flaw. I've said it for 2-3 years. Like, he needed to plug holes. Like, you got holes, and with the portal, I know why Dabo was against it. I respected him big time for it. But unfortunately, while these rules are in place, you kind of have to use it. You kind of have to use the portal. Everybody else is using it. Everybody else is stealing your players, so you might as well steal some of some other players. So I don't know. I'm still kind of on the 10-2 line. I mean, if they beat LSU, I could see them running the table all the way until – that South Carolina game, I don't know, because Sellers is back and they've been playing great. You know what? I'll go 11-1. I'll do it, sure, because this probably will be their best team in years. And even when they've been down, they've gone like 9-3, 10-2. And even though there's a lot of losable games, I just don't think Georgia Tech, UNC, Boston College, SMU, they could theoretically find a way to lose any of those games, but with how presumably good their roster will be with all that. I did not know some of those additions. I guess 11-1. We'll see.
Let's take a look at the chat here. As Pitt Snipe Husker is saying that Bill O'Brien will get a Power 2 job by December. Maybe Wisconsin or Arkansas. I just don't know how well you can do it. I mean, there's no shot to the Arkansas fan base, but I don't know how well he can do at Arkansas just compared to all the other SEC teams. I feel like it's tough to get Arkansas at that level. The
thing is, too, is I read that Bill O'Brien, didn't he? He took the Boston College job because there was something to do with, didn't he have a kid or something that was sick?
Something or whatever, like that, yeah.
And he's being treated at the hospital or something like that. I mean, I don't remember. I don't know how that's going or if he's even been updated. But I remember that was part of why he took the job. Plus, it's up there, the Patriots. He was there, and then, Boston College. I don't know. I mean, to me, wouldn't it make more sense for him to go back to the NFL? Who knows? You could be right, Husker. I don't know. I would – Wisconsin probably be more likely, right, than Arkansas, I would say. Because Wisconsin – I mean, Luke Fickell, I know he got the extension, but I really still don't
know. I still think he's on the hot seat.
Yeah, so – yeah, Wisconsin, they're way behind in NIL, I've heard, and they're not really getting any good players. So and they're so identity confused because they were such a run team, they were always ground and pound. And now Luke Fickell was more modern. He was trying to kind of open it up, and then it didn't work. So now they're kind of trying to backtrack. They don't know what they're doing. Is basically what I'm saying. They don't know what they're
It's a
doing. They have
dumpster
no
fire.
identity. So, yeah, I'll go.
And why
11
does Kelly keep getting hired? I don't know, man. He has a good agent.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's take a look at. Do we want to look at Florida State?
We can. I hope we pound them into the ground. I really hope we do that on week 1. Where is their over under?
7.5, maybe. Is my guess for it.
7.5. You're correct. You absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what Vegas Insider saying. I'm shocked though. I mean, after the season they had last year, I know they brought in a lot of dudes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember them all.
Right.
I do know the QB Castellanos, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember the others. I know there was a few other pretty solid names. But see, we our issue is that we've seen the portal work for Florida State and we've seen it fail for Florida State. So what are we gonna get?
So their additions were Thomas Castellanos, from of course BC, Sandman Thompson from FIU, Squirrel White from Tennessee,
He got hurt, but that's a good ad.
Deuce Robinson from USC, and Marvin Jones Jr. from Georgia.
That's it.
Now this ChatGPT search, like they have DJU in the addition still, so I don't know how accurate this is, but
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, ChatGPT and all that stuff is so funky. It's hard like because I don't know if you've seen the segments that me and Jackson have done with his IT guy on the Alabama call-in show on Thursday nights, but like he's done like the ChatGPT stuff where we answer questions or whatever, and a lot of times the answers are wrong. Like they'll give a question and then the answer is completely wrong, and we know the right answer, and it's so funny. It's what makes it great. But yeah, ChatGPT, hard to trust. Sometimes it is correct, but I don't know, man. I mean, you named a few pretty solid players, man, but last year they were horrid.
Yeah, they were.
Like, and didn't he made a couple staff additions too, right?
Yeah, he shook up the staff, got Gus Malzahn in there to run the offense.
How do you feel about that?
Mid, I mean, it doesn't really move the needle for me.
The thing with Gus Malzahn is that when he got fired from Auburn, I was like really defensive towards him. Like, yeah, he shouldn't have got fired. I feel like, they needed to keep him. He was good enough. And ever since, Auburn's been bad. But the longer since Gus Malzahn's been away from Auburn, the less I've kind of defended him because he's kind of not.
But you also can't defend Auburn either because they've been bad too.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think Gus Malzahn's bad. He could be past his prime. Yeah. I don't know, but he wasn't very good at UCF, even when they were in the American. I mean, had a couple pretty solid years, but it wasn't as good as Scott Frost by no means. Or even the Tennessee guy, Heupel. So, I don't know.
I mean, looking at the schedule, they should be winning. Like, they should be beating East Texas A&M, Kent State, Virginia, Stanford.
That's 4.
Wake
is 5. Virginia Tech. If it was at Virginia Tech,
yeah.
Virginia Tech's not a good road team. They usually aren't. They're better at home. I mean, you remember though Castellanos at BC? What did they go? 6-6. I mean, I'm seeing 6-6, 7-5, maybe.
Yeah.
They're not doing any better than that unless they're somehow just dramatically better. I mean, they went 2-10 last year. I mean, and they weren't even a good 2-10. It was not like they were Nebraska 3-9 from a few years ago. I mean, they were legitimately trash. Just say
I want to say they'll beat Pitt, so that gets them to 6 wins, right?
Hypothetically, just say they go 7-5. Is that enough for Norvell?
I don't think they'll fire him if he goes 7-5.
Okay.
I think they'll fire him if he goes 6-6 or worse.
It's so close between 6 and 6, 7 and 5.
Yeah.
Oscar said I heard that. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know.
I just don't think NC State's going to be. I just think it's more so like the rest of the ACC. I don't trust that.
The
like,
ACC's not good. That's literally been the thing that's hurt Clemson for the last decade, is that the ACC has not been good. You know, like you've got your Miamis trying to get better, Florida State a couple years ago. You know, like you got these teams trying to be better to make the league better, but it's just basically been Clemson. And with Clemson being down, it's really hurt the ACC. They just have not been a good league.
But I don't know if they're getting to 8 wins, though. 8 still seems like a stretch. I'll go 7-5. 7-5. It's my final call.
East Texas A&M, Kent State, Virginia, Pitt, Wake, Stanford.
I'll say they win that, and then they win one of the Virginia Tech NC State games.
I'll go with 7-5. I mean, I was gonna go 6 and 6, but that schedule sucks. So I mean, I don't know, man. I keep picking what you're picking, but it just sounds right, I guess.
Yeah.
They're not gonna win more than that. I would be shocked if they win more than that.
Next up, let's go with Georgia Tech. And they open with an interesting game in Boulder.
What team is this again?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. All right, they are at 7.5 too. Over under, just like Florida State. Yeah, that Colorado game's interesting because Colorado is dramatically different now. They don't have Sanders anymore. So I don't even know. They got a transfer QB, I believe, right? Or did they not?
Colorado?
I can't remember who Colorado got.
Do they have? Are they just going to start Julian Lewis, or they get someone from the portal?
Oh yeah, Julian Lewis. I can't remember. I can look at Colorado's roster real quick because I mean that's going to be a big determining factor in Georgia Tech's season, whether they win that game or not. Oh, they got Caden Salter.
Oh,
that's it. That's the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
I remember they got a transfer QB. Yeah, Hummus said it. Thanks, Hummus. I think they got Salter. Cade Salter versus Julian Lewis. I mean, Salter's experience as they come. And
I think Salter will win if they got him.
I don't see why he would transfer there to not start. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see it. So he'll probably be the starter.
That's a coin flip.
It is a coin flip. Like that's legitimately a coin flip game. It's 50-50. I mean, the spread will probably be even.
But I don't know. I just like Georgia Tech's offensive line. I felt like they always had a good offensive line, so I'm going to go lean Georgia Tech slightly.
Because, I mean, you got Haynes King versus Salter. Like, they're both experienced. I guess Georgia Tech would win that one. I mean, that's a game I'm definitely going to be keen.
It's a Friday. It's the Friday, that week 1 Friday game.
I'll be watching that one.
Yeah.
Gardner-Webb win, Clemson loss, maybe, probably. Temple win, Wake win.
This is a very favorable schedule.
Yeah, Virginia Tech, Duke, Syracuse, NC State could all be wins. And what's after that?
And then is it just BC, Pitt, and then very favorable.
I'll go 8-4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. 8-4. We'll go 8-4.
I like it. That's an 8-4. I mean, I could even see 9-3, but Georgia Tech always finds a way to disappoint a little bit. So I'll go 8-4.
Yeah. I hate how they're always playing that Georgia game now in Mercedes-Benz, but
yeah, I don't like it either. No, Husker, man. He said we stole a starting quarterback from Georgia Tech.
Oh.
Jeff Sims. Jeff Sims, man. He was a fumbling machine. Like, he was way worse than Adrian Martinez, man. Like, he was way worse. That guy sucked. Like, I know Nebraska's offensive line.
PU, man. PU.
Jeff Sims.
I remember I watched him against Notre Dame, and he was horrible. I mean that was like peak Georgia Tech being awful.
Yeah. that's
Gixer, prayers for everyone in LA, man.
Wow. Yeah, definitely prayers there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you stopping by, though, at Gixer Squid. I haven't seen you around in a while. Nice to see you again. Appreciate it.
Who else should we talk about? Let's go Syracuse with Stephen Jelly.
Syracuse. They're always like a 6-6-ish. What is their overall?
Well, they were better last year. They went 9-3, 10-3 last year.
Yeah, the over/under's 5.5. See, they got them going back to the regular.
Yeah.
To the norm.
I know. If I would love them to beat Tennessee week 1. But
yeah, that no.
Well, I know, but Nico left though. Nico left.
Yeah, Nico left. He did, but you got to remember, though. Tennessee, who they play a couple years ago? Was it they've played Virginia recently?
Oh yeah,
but they played NC State, and they
Syracuse is better than these teams, right?
Sure, I guess. I mean, NC State was supposed to be decent that year, and Tennessee destroyed them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, they're not winning that game. We don't know how Tennessee's going to be. Do we know who their quarterback's going to be?
Aguilar from App State.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. See, that's why there's hope for me. Ooh. Yeah. He threw the most interceptions in the FBS.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that he's gone downhill. Because I remember Aguilar a couple years ago, his stats were pretty decent, but last year, yeah, he had a ton of picks. His stats looked like Jameis Winston that year in the NFL. Mm-hmm. A lot of picks. So, no, I don't like it. Let me see Tennessee's over-under just to be curious.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
You might get beat out.
8.5?
Too high.
That's high. I don't like it. I mean, maybe that was done before the Nico stuff. Could have been. I still don't think they're going to win that game, most likely. But
all right.
UConn should be a win.
Colgate will be a win. They just got to remember to brush their teeth.
Duke. Yeah, Colgate's mouth is always dirty. Yeah. Not clean.
Duke's kind of. This is a tougher schedule, but.
Yeah, see, if you notice, though, Will, that in the ACC, there's always one team like Syracuse that has a great record, and it's typically because the schedule's easy.
Well, and Miami collapsed, so.
Yeah, and Miami collapsed. So, that's just kind of the way it is. If you got the favorable schedule, they're all really favorable. It's just whether you're a little bit better than them or not.
Mm-hmm.
SMU's probably a loss.
Mm-hmm. We'll give them maybe a win. I don't know.
Pitt and North Carolina, they'll split those. Georgia Tech's probably a loss. Miami should be a loss. But Miami, they know how to lose. So Notre Dame's a loss. BC. I don't know, man. Who do they got at QB?
They got Stephen Jelly from Notre Dame.
Well, I don't know how good he is.
He's decent, man. He got us that field goal against Penn State.
Yeah, the field goal. Like, he's just a spot man.
He won the bowl game the year before when Sam Hartman opted out. He won the bowl game against Oregon State.
Yeah, that's because Oregon State lost their whole team.
Yeah, he had all day in that pocket. He had all day in that bowl game.
Team, man, don't tell me how good Angeli is. Like, man, that Oregon State bowl game was sad, man. They lost everybody. Oh my gosh. I'll go 5-7.
All right, I'm gonna take a look. I want to take. All right, let's see.
Unless if you're looking at the roster, unless that makes me change my mind.
All right, 1 win. No, let's look at Syracuse. I'll go down. It didn't give me all the teams. What about Syracuse? Syracuse football. All right. Chris Long from Rutgers, Tyshawn Russell from South Carolina. So they definitely got some people from the world, but no one huge. They did lose, of course, Pena to Penn State, their best receiver from last year.
Doesn't sound that impressive, though.
Not that impressive.
I ain't gonna lie, just does not blow me away.
3-3, 3-4.
And their schedule's not like the easiest. I mean, it's not. I mean, against the ACC, so it's not impossible, but it's not very impressive.
I'm seeing 5-7, unfortunately.
I don't see any better than that. I mean, you never know. You never know, but I don't see it.
All right. I wanted them to make a bowl game for Steve, but
yeah.
All right,
North Carolina. Well, we don't know how much of an influence Bill Belichick and his situation is going to.
Well, didn't she get banned from all like football facilities?
Yeah, I think she did. But like, is that during the season too? Is that forever? I mean, well, okay. I mean, I'm just wondering what did she do to get banned? I mean, was she distracted?
Did she like pull her skirt off? Like, what happened?
I mean, I'm just wondering, was it a Belichick issue? Was it was the team? I mean, I don't know, but I couldn't talk about UNC without making one joke about that. But again, we got another swing game. TCU, UNC. Another one of those type of games. She's obnoxious. Well, I mean, that 60 Minutes interview was a joke. I mean, it was absolutely.
The CBS interview, too, was a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. I
CBS one.
It's so bad, man. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. She's more arrogant than Bill. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, TCU and UCF, both swing games. Do you think they split at least?
They could go. Yeah, I'll say they split. But I'm not sold on UCF at all. Like, who's. I think they win.
Don't they have? Do they have Taven Jackson?
They might. I don't know. I haven't looked at the Big 12 at all, really.
Yeah, I can't remember. I thought they had Taven Jackson, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll say they split those two.
Yeah. And then they lose to Clemson. I say they beat Cal. They beat Virginia.
Stanford, Wake, Duke. This is an easy schedule.
Yeah.
7-5.
Can they finally beat NC State?
I'll go 7-5.
Yeah. What's the line at?
7.5. I mean, it's easy. This is one of the easiest schedules in the ACC. It's easy.
I'll go 8-4. I think they'll go over.
Yeah.
It just could be a disaster as well.
I want to go 8-4, but something tells me they're going to choke in a couple games. That's the UNC way. So I'll go 7-5. Trust me. I mean, I know one of my teams, man. UNC is a joke. They are a joke. I mean, they blow in so many games. I remember that game against Georgia Tech a couple years ago where Drake May had the pick at the end because the guy didn't run the route. It's like, all right. I mean, And then the other game, I think it was another Georgia Tech game. It was the receiver. He dropped the pass too in the end zone. What was his name? Oh my gosh, who was that guy? Who was that receiver for Carolina a couple years ago? Who got drafted? Downs. Josh Downs. He dropped an easy pass, dude. I mean, that's what UNC does. So I'll go 7-5. It's too easy for them to do worse. If they go 5-7 with this schedule, that would be a fail, an absolute utter fail.
Bill and Roy were both at Belichick and Williams were both at the Super Regional where Carolina they choked against Arizona for baseball.
Yeah, that's hilarious, dude. That is so funny.
Which team should we do next? Let's go Duke. You like to talk about Duke.
Yeah. Duke's always interesting. 6.5, according to the odds. Elon's a dub. Illinois,
probably a loss.
I still feel like Illinois is getting hyped too much, though. That game's going to really determine are they legit.
Yeah, I mean, you think they're going to be the next Indiana?
They're not the next Indiana. I mean, they can make the playoffs, but they're still not the next Indiana. Try going 3-9 Illinois and then making the playoffs the year after. Try doing that. Then we'll talk. You won 10 games last year. Oh, wow, we won 11 this year. Ooh, it's a 1-game increase. Yeah, so, I mean, Illinois could be great. They returned everybody, but we'll see. I mean, I just feel like they have a ceiling. But this game's going to really determine whether Illinois is legit, if they can go on the road and beat a decent team on the road. And that's all Duke is at best. And then they got that game after against Tulane on the road.
That could be awesome. That could be a double L.
See, look at Carolina's schedule, and then look at this. This one's harder.
Yeah.
You've got Illinois, you've got at Tulane, you've got at Cuse, NC State, at Cal, Georgia Tech, at Clemson. These are harder games.
Mm-hmm.
UConn on the road too. Why do they have Tulane and UConn on the road? That's insane. Virginia, and then those last three are easier. Virginia, Wake, at UNC. Duke's kind of had UNC's number lately too. I don't know why. Like they've beaten them like the last couple of years. So
Duke. I mean, I don't know.
I'm seeing 6-6. I
mean, I don't know. We'll see. A lot of things could change until 2031 because the ACC will be around until 2031. But I don't know. Maybe maybe they merge with the Big 12. I've heard that. UConn on the road. So we're gonna go one. I'll say they win 2 of these. So 1, 2, 3,
4 with Elon.
4.
I'm seeing 6-6.
Yeah, let's go 6-6.
That's what I see.
I
don't see him doing any better. Don't they? They got their quarterback though, Mensa, right? He some people are hyping him up, I think. But
yeah, he's going back to Tulane, right?
Yeah. So
NC State going hosting ECU at Carter Finley, Virginia.
Should be a win. I mean, ECU's been better again, but should be a win. Do we know who's the quarterback for NC State? I can't remember.
See, what about... All right. I'll type it. I can type it in. They didn't get anyone from the portal. I don't think.
That's not good. CJ Bailey. I see a guy named CJ Bailey, QB. I don't know who he is. I don't even know if he's a starter. I just see him on the roster. I'm just seeing a guy named CJ Bailey.
Yeah. What about ECU? You
NC
know,
State is where's their over under? NC State. I'm not even finding it. 6.5. Yeah, ECU. I can look at that real quick. I know like Ehlers is gone. It was a couple years ago, so I don't really know. I forgot who they're. I know they did hire that intern guy because they did better last year. Oh, they got Caton Hauser from Michigan State, or however you say his first name. You remember
so
him?
what's the over under for NC State?
6.5.
6.5. I guess win.
East Carolina's is 6.5.
Win. Loss. 3-1. Toss up, but I'm gonna say they probably win that. So they have a they could go have a 6-0 start,
Could.
but
Yeah, I can also see
they'll
3-3.
lose one of these.
3-3
Or
is
they lose to
possible.
Duke. Duke and maybe lose to one of Virginia Tech or ECU.
Notre Dame's an L.
Yeah.
At Pitt could be an L.
Georgia Tech's not going to be easy.
Florida State's not a given.
Yeah.
UNC's not a given. Miami probably lost. Do you think 7-5 or 6-6?
6-6.
I mean, I feel like the schedule's pretty easy, but I mean, I don't. CJ Bailey. I don't know. Again, don't even know who that is.
Yeah, Corp. I don't know. I mean, they were bad last year too. So
I'll go 6-6. That's
mm-hmm.
Schedule's just so dirt easy. That's the problem. It's like, I mean, if they had a harder schedule, I could see them going 4-8 or 5-7. But I guess 6-6. But Doran's still there, right?
Yeah, I can't stand him.
Yeah, because like is the Wake guy still there? Clausen, is he still
there? No, he left.
He's gone. Okay,
We got the Washington State coach.
He's at Washington State?
No, the Washington State coach went over to Wake.
Oh. Yeah, I couldn't remember that. I was thinking, was it Clausen or Doran who was gone? It was Clausen. So yeah, what's his name again? The Washington State guy, because I remember Indiana was looking at him. Forgot his name. Man, I can't remember. I have not paid attention in a while.
So Jimmy Rogers is the new coach. The old coach was Dickert.
That's it, Jake Dickert. Because I remember, again, Indiana, people were saying, oh, they need to hire him, and they ended up going with Signetti, which thankfully they did. Yeah, Jimmy Rogers, he was the South Dakota guy, right? South Dakota State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that because Jackson was really high on him. So that's crazy. All that movement there. Yeah, I forgot. I remember it now, but I just slipped my mind. So
it's hard to think they'll be that good year one.
I don't know who they even have at QB.
Do they have Bachmeier now? Or
well, he was there, but I thought he was out of eligibility.
Okay, who will be? Look it up.
He was their quarterback last year. Now, I'm not seeing Hank Bachmeier.
Robbie Ashford.
They got him?
Yeah, I think it's going to be him.
Robbie Ashford is on
Wait.
Oh my gosh. They're cooked. They're cooked, man. Oh,
he's still in college football.
Dude, that guy's terrible. He is bad. No. What do they got here? Well, 2 wins should.
Yeah.
At Oregon State on the CW. That's a thriller right there. What's their over under?
I'm gonna go 3-9, man. I don't see it with Ashford. 3-9.
The over under's 4.5. You know what? I'll go 3-9 too because he's garbage. That dude sucks. Honestly, the only way they would do better is if he got benched.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's not good. Like I'm not like Robbie Ashford, probably quality dude. I got nothing against him personally, but all I know is wherever he's been absolute garbage. So, and Wake, I mean, it's gonna take time because I mean, Clawson, he was the best coach they ever had, and it ran out of steam. It just ran out of steam. I mean, one of the toughest places to recruit.
Yeah.
One of the toughest places to get fans in the seats. It is just hard to win at Wake, even in a bad league. The ACC is not good, and Wake Forest still struggles. So yeah, I'll go 3.
I'll say this, Jeffrey. Wake Forest has won the ACC more recently than Miami has.
Well, that's because Miami's a joke.
2006, Wake Forest won the ACC.
That's funny.
With
When you can't win at Wake, it's just hard to win at Wake. And it's hard to maintain it. Because, I mean, like I said, Clawson was good for a long time, but it eventually ran out of steam, and he's out. Yeah, it's crazy. Because, I mean, a couple of years ago, people were still high on him. So.
Who else should we do next? We could do Virginia.
Virginia's another team toward the bottom of the barrel, I'm sure. Yeah. They haven't been good since Bryce Perkins. They were good with him.
They're having a pretty good year in the UFL this year.
Yeah, he is. And they're on right now, or they were. I was watching that game, actually. The Panthers, Michigan Panthers. He plays for them. They were playing the Birmingham Stallions, who never lose. I don't know. Did Michigan win? Michigan Panthers. Did they win that game? Yeah, they won.
Oh,
so Bryce Perkins is going to the thing. The Stallions finally lost. Finally, like after forever, just keep winning the thing. So, yeah, Virginia's over under 6.5.
Wow,
according to Vegas Insider. I'm sure.
I heard they got some good guys in the portal.
All right, well, I'm looking right now.
I'll look at it. Yeah.
Who do they have at coach though? It's not that. Is it still Elliott?
This isn't make or break for Elliott. If Elliott doesn't make a bowl, he has to be gone.
He's still there, dude. Yeah, they've done bad with him though. They have Chandler Morris at QB. You remember him?
I forgot where he was at.
He was at Oklahoma,
TCU, right?
TCU, and then North Texas. They have him.
19 transfers they brought in this year.
I don't really recognize anybody else. It's kind of hard to just say because I don't know how good their transfers are. I don't know. I mean, William and Mary, that's a win.
Coastal's a 50-50.
It's a 50-50. I mean, they're not the same team anymore without Chadwell and Grayson McCall. I mean, that was fun to watch. Like, I enjoyed watching that team.
We'll give them a win over Stanford, I guess.
Sure. Florida State, Louisville should be losses. Another CW game between a nobody team, Washington State. Sorry, Washington State fans, but the Big 12 didn't pick you up. The easy schedule.
Yeah.
It's easy.
I might go to the Tech EVA game if my sister would want to go. Just for fun. I've always wanted to go to that.
That'd be cool. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Nice little rivalry game. Doesn't get a lot of attention, but it is a decent game. Kind of in the vein like Indiana Purdue, in football anyway. Not basketball, but football. Just like one of those type of games.
Do you think they can get to 6 wins?
The schedule's so easy. But what did they do last year?
Oh, they're bad last year. 5-7. Well, actually, not that bad.
They beat BC, Coastal, Wake, and Pitt. They barely lost to Louisville, but they got bludgeoned in every other game. I don't know. I'm teetering between 5 and 7 and 6 and 6. I feel like we've picked a lot of 6 and 6 though. You know, somebody they're not all gonna go 6 and 6.
It feels like they do in the ACC though.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a toss up, man. It is a blatant toss up between 5 and 7 and 6 and 6.
Do you want to look at Tech now?
What are you going for, Virginia?
I'll go 6 and 6. I'll say they get it done.
I'll go 5 and 7. I guess I'm not confident in it because the schedule's that bad, but so Husker says I'm not forgetting that aqua room. I'm glad it's burned in your memory, Husker. Thanks. So Virginia Tech, looking at their over under, we have 6.5. They're all like the same. They're all either like 5.5, 6.5. So it's Virginia Tech. I mean, the South Carolina game should be an L.
Yeah.
If it was at Virginia Tech, though. But it's not. Don't lie. I mean, why is that a neutral site game? That's a stupid neutral site game.
Stupid.
Having that game at Virginia Tech or at South Carolina would have been great. Either or. But you got Mercedes-Benz. I mean, something like Clemson, Georgia. But we're talking this game. That's a stupid game to have there. That's when I don't support neutral site. That's a dumb game. I would prefer that game heavily if it was a home game for one of these teams. So probably an L. Vanderbilt, I can't say a guarantee to win, right? Like
no,
Vandy,
it's probably, I don't know, maybe an L.
Vandy's better. I mean, do they still have Diego Pavia?
Yes, he'll be back.
Okay, well, it's not Vandy from 3 years ago. Old Dominion's the team. They beat Virginia Tech 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
They because I remember one game, the coach for Virginia Tech got stuck in the elevator or something. I remember it was some crazy thing, and they lost that game. So heck, man, they could go 0-3, or they could go 2-1. Wolford should be a win, or Wofford, however you say it. Your sister goes to Virginia Tech, right?
She just graduated. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Congratulations. Yeah, because I know you've always you've kind of half supported Virginia Tech. I know, we've done shows before. You're like, oh, I'm hoping for Virginia Tech to make a bowl.
The fans are restless though. They want better, and I still know
they miss when they were good.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Tyrod Taylor, Michael Vick. And they were good. Now they suck. They haven't been good in a while. They've had a few seasons.
Not since Hendon Hooker was there.
Yeah, I was trying to think. That one guy, Hendon Hooker, and then he left, and then they've fallen apart. I mean, they've had some 8-4 years, but like lately they've been terrible.
Yeah.
Who's their quarterback?
It's the guy from Baylor. I know his face.
I can't remember.
Can't pull it.
For some reason, all I'm thinking of is Gary Bohannon, and I know he's gone. He went to
Kyron Drones.
Kyron Drones. That's it. Yep, you're right. Was he good?
I
mean, I didn't think he was.
He was hurt too. He was also hurt.
Yeah, he's a redshirt senior. It's like he's been playing a long time, and it's not like he's gotten all that good. Didn't Virginia Tech have a good back a couple years ago?
Tootin was pretty good.
Yeah, he was good.
Where did he get drafted again? He got drafted.
Yeah, he did. I can't remember. Do they have anybody else? I mean, I'm looking at the roster. I'm not really seeing anything.
He went to the Jaguars in the 4th round.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Good for him. I'm not seeing a lot, man. I mean, I like you got NC State on the road. I mean, that's a 50-50. Wake Forest, I guess that should be a win. At Georgia Tech's tough. Cal could be a win. Louisville's probably a loss. And after that, who they got after that? Miami, Virginia. I mean, it's on the road. I think 5 and 7.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a hard.
I mean, I think it might just end up coming down to that Virginia game. Who makes a bowl? Like it has.
Yeah, like both teams will be 5 and 6, kind of like Indiana Purdue was twice back in 2017, 2018, and Indiana lost them both. Yeah, I'll go 5 and 7.
Yeah. Let's do Louisville. We haven't done Louisville.
Louisville's up next, so they're 8.5. 8.5, and you said they got Miller Moss.
Yeah.
So 2 wins, 3 wins. I mean, James Madison, they could give him some
They
trouble.
could go 5-0.
Yeah, I see that. 5-0. I mean, the Pitt game could be tough, but because Louisville did lose a game at Pitt a couple years ago. After
They did. That was the year
they
where
beat Notre Dame.
They beat they beat us.
They beat y'all, and then they lost at Pitt. I remember that game because Austin was furious. It's such a letdown game. It was such a letdown game.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's not like a letdown spot though. So
no, it's not. At
they're
Miami,
gonna lose something stupid though. They will lose a stupid game.
They always do.
So it could be
at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Could be at SMU.
Mm-hmm.
Which I wouldn't say that's a stupid game to lose, but like they could.
Yeah,
lose
SMU brought back that quarterback that crapped the bed against Penn State, Jennings.
Yeah, he played well most of the year. He just he sucked in that game. He was really good against Clemson late though. You think 9-3 or 8-4?
8-4.
Sure.
That SMU game's a coin flip. I don't know.
I'll go 8-4. I guess I was gonna think about giving him the benefit of the doubt and go 9-3, but there are enough losable games. I guess I'll go 8-4. Be another good year.
Let's do Miami now.
Miami 8.5 over under. Notre Dame's a L. Florida's
a coin flip again.
Yes. At Florida State.
Win.
We got Scotty B. He says 10-2 could happen. Would take some craziness for Louisville. Yeah, it could. But I think, I mean, I was going to go 9-3, but then like Will said, they always lose to a bad team. So probably 8-4. That's kind of seems to be where they're at. They're an 8-4 type of team, type of program. It's pretty good. Nothing wrong with that. But thanks for being here, Scotty B. Appreciate it. Yeah, Miami's got some tough games, man. You got 2 really tough games to start the year with Notre Dame and Florida. Then you got Louisville. Then you got SMU.
I'm thinking 9-3. But no, they'll lose a dumb one, 8-4 as well.
8-4, because you got at Virginia Tech and at Pitt. They're going to lose one of those. So I'm going 8-4. That's a tough schedule for the ACC anyway. So I'll go 8-4.
Do we just have
always chokes, man?
Yeah. Do we only have Cal and Stanford left? Oh, SMU.
Yeah, we got 3 left.
Yeah,
SMU's 8.5. You want to do them? Oh, you got Stanford pulled up.
Stanford. Okay. So they'll win Hawaii. They'll lose. They'll probably go. Let's just make it quick. 3-9 or.
Stanford's 3.5 over under. I'll go 3-9. I mean, they suck.
And then Cal, a little better.
Cal's over under is. I mean, they made a bowl game last year.
Yeah.
5.5's the over under. I mean, literally, literally, Will Cox goes 5-7 or 6-6 every year.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He's the king.
No big game this year? Oh, wait, no, there it is. Okay, it's just the second to last week because Notre Dame plays Stanford.
They better have the game.
Oops. I mean,
you got to have the play.
Yeah.
Oregon State's a swing.
I mean, I want to go 5-7 because the non-conference is tougher. They're
not beating Oregon State, Minnesota, and San Diego State. They're not winning all three.
I'll say they win one of them. I'll say they win San Diego State, and then. But I don't know. They could beat the Beavers, but.
You think 1-3 or 2-2 in the non-con? Because I mean, I'm seeing either. It could happen.
I'll give them 2-2.
All right, 2-2.
No, they lost. They lost so much in the portal. Remember? Didn't they lose a lot in the portal?
Yeah, Jaden Ott's gone.
Yeah.
And they lost Mendoza. IU. We got him.
Who do they bring in?
Yeah, let me look. Yeah, because Fernando Mendoza's at Indiana now. Yeah, I don't know, dude. That you're right. They've lost two of their best players. They got Devin Brown.
They got Devin Brown
from Ohio State.
He was so bad against Missouri, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll go 5-7.
Yeah. 5-7.
5-7 is what I got.
And then we'll do SMU last.
SMU, their over-under is 8.5.
They'll probably beat Baylor and TCU.
So 4-0.
Why are they going to Missouri State, man?
Yeah, it's such a stupid game to have on the road. It's so dumb. So they'll start 6-0. I mean, their most likeliest loss out of that is at TCU. I could see a loss there. In the
TCU or Syracuse.
I could see the TCU game because Hoover's back for TCU, and he actually was pretty solid. So,
is that the last edition of the Skillet game?
I don't know. It could be. I hope not, because it's an underrated little game. Wake's a win. BC's probably a win. Clemson, Miami could be losses. Look, 8-4, 9-3.
I'll go 9-3. I'll say they beat Miami and then lose to. Well, they'll split the Miami and the Louisvilles.
Scotty says Baylor brings back a lot. It is at SMU though.
That's not much of a home field, but I mean, I do think that SMU also brings back Jennings. I'll give it to SMU.
I guess I'll go 9-3. I can see 8-4 though, but I'll go 9-3.
And then before we get off, do you want to talk about the settlement?
Yeah, we can. Sounds good. And then we can wrap it up. That was fun going through the ACC. Hopefully we can do it for the other conferences. I'll try to maybe make our segments into videos. You know, I know they're kind of a little choppy, but I have some time to do that. We had some good takes. I feel like on some like Stanford, that'll be like a 5-second ad, like a 5-second short, like Stanford 3-9. Yeah, that's it. Husker says we're getting off. Nah, we're gonna do the settlement, and then we're good. And we got Jackson as well. Appreciate you for stopping by. But yeah, definitely been fun talking some sports again, man. It's crazy, and I'm sure this is gonna be nuts. We got Jackson with the super sticker. Appreciate that, Jackson.
Thank you. Shout out to Jackson. All right, college sports settlement. We're not gonna. So the schools can pay the athletes directly now. Do you think this is good to just get this over with, or do you think it's?
Well, I think the problem is that they've set it at $20.5 million, right?
And they're gonna make it bigger every year,
and it's gonna keep going up. So it's like, what kind of cap is that? It's not even a cap because I understand that you can't set a cap, I guess, like a definitive cap. It's like a minimum wage, right? Is our minimum wage the same as it was back in 1980? No. The federal minimum wage is $7.25. in America. And I know there are some states it's like 515 state. I think it's like Georgia and like Wyoming or something like that, or Missouri. It's some I can't remember. It's not Missouri. I know Georgia's one of them, but it's like 515. But most businesses have to go with that federal minimum wage of $7.25, and then other states it's like $15 or $10 or whatever. But the point I'm making there is that the federal minimum wage has gone up over time. It doesn't stay the same because inflation, the dollar bill becomes less valuable. You have to give people more money so they can live, whatever. So with this, I get like with college football demand, people watching it, there's more money in the sport, that the cap's going to keep going up. But since they didn't set like at least the limit where it's like, oh, the cap's going to remain at this for the next 5 to 10 years or so, it could go up every year. Are they just going to keep raising it every year? Because that's not how the federal minimum wage works. The federal minimum wage has been $7.25 in America for 25 years. It's been a while. I don't know exactly how long, but you get what I'm saying. It's just, I know it's dumb to look at regular minimum wage compared to this, but it's like, I don't like that aspect of it, of how, it's 20.5 million, but it can just keep going up whenever. I don't really like that. Plus, even though they said that this is the cap, they still have allowed, they're going to allow the booster thing-ish. So it's not really a cap. If you're going to still allow the big booster people, then it's not a cap.
I didn't actually know that was a thing. I thought the boosters are still there.
Yeah. So it's like,
this doesn't do anything.
I know. It kind of just feels like a big waste of time, is what it feels like. I thought I read somewhere. Now we can clarify, but I thought I read somewhere where some of the third-party boosters were still okay. That or something like that. That's what I read. I don't know though. I could be wrong, but I thought I read somewhere that they were still going to allow it to an extent. And see, if you're going to allow it to an extent, how are you going to regulate it? Let me see. Let me read this.
I don't know, man. Brady Quinn's going to keep collecting more money for school, which is good, but for the growth of for the sport itself, it's not great.
I mean, this right here cracks me up, Will. This is what cracks me up. This statement right here. You got. Are you able to pull it up?
I have to remove it. Yeah, I have to.
Sorry about that. I can't pull it up because of the fact that
there you go.
I can't pull it up because of the fact that I gotta get the StreamYard fixed. But you see right here, thanks. It says the athletes still won't be classified as employees. What are you, man? When you're making $5 million a year,
it's a waste of time.
Yeah, you're an employee, man. Oh my gosh, like you got to be kidding me with that statement. You're legit trying to gaslight people into believe. Oh, the student athletes. They're not student athletes. They're athletes getting paid by corporations almost.
I mean, I do want them to get the degrees. The degrees do matter, but
the degrees do matter, but it's not the focus anymore. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that the degrees are the focus anymore for most of these players, and that's the sad thing. And I don't blame these players for taking the money and run, but it's just so bad.
I mean, I guess they were worried they would get sued. That they would like sue, the players would sue the government for having to pay taxes. I guess maybe that was it. But
yeah, that's true. I mean, I read somewhere where someone said like this all this House Selma stuff, it just feels like the fall, like Rome or something like that. It was so funny. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's that dire, but I don't know legitimately all of what's going on here because we just don't know. I mean, I'm not involved with this junk. I just read what I read. But it just doesn't seem like this really accomplishes that much. There's not a set limit, even though there is $20.5 million, but that number can increase whenever they feel like it. It still seems like there can be some third party funny business per se, which isn't really going to help. And they're not employees when they are. And like Husker says, another point. Walk-ons.
Well,
Nobody cares about the walk-ons.
I mean, hey, Luke Talich might start at Notre Dame. He was a walk-on, but we'll see.
Well, see, the issue is that used to you had your scholarship players, you got a scholarship, and then you had your walk-ons. Mm-hmm. Now they're doing a roster limit. You saw that too, right? The roster limit. So, like basketball, they're going to have 15 players per roster, and that's the cap. It's not a deal where you have 13 scholarship players and then you can have as many walk-ons as you want. You have 15 players. I guess you can have like 10 or 11 legit players and then the other ones can be the walk-on-ish players. But how do you do that? How do you give them NIL when they don't play? Same with football. Have you seen in the football rosters like 105? What team is going to have 105 players? You're going to have 6 QBs? 15 receivers, 20 offensive linemen. Because used to the cap wasn't like 80. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really agree. I'm glad walk-ons are done. I mean, I guess I can see where Burks is coming from. I guess see where you're coming from. I guess saying like, everyone that's on the team is just the same. Like they're all gonna get some NIL, whatever. But I don't know, man. You were a walk-on for a reason. You're not good. You know what I'm saying? Like they have lower levels for you to play. Like any walk-on player at a big university can go play at Division II, Division III if they want.
Or they can go to JUCO.
Or JUCO, yeah. It's like I don't get I don't necessarily understand the whole stigma of that. They're not playing. It's like they can go play if they want to. It's just that a lot of them want to be on that big university to say, hey, I was at Indiana. I was at Alabama, whatever. I don't know. I just don't think this solves too much. What are your main thoughts, Will, on all this?
Well, I thought all it did was like stop the boosters from being involved. I thought this was what the bill did, but it didn't do that. So,
to me, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I could be wrong. I just in my mind though, I thought I read somewhere where they weren't getting rid of all third party ones, and that's what I thought I read. I don't know if you've read that, but that's what I thought I read.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here it is. Same article. I shouldn't have taken it down. I just didn't want to scroll. There's a billion ads, and all that kind of junk. It's right here. It says the new agreement will allow players to sign outside contracts. However, a new wrinkle requires NIL contracts be sent through a clearinghouse run by whoever to ensure. To me, when I see sign outside contracts, that means like third-party boosters.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what that means to me. That just seems like coded language to me. I could be wrong, but that's what I read. I saw someone say that this article had misinformation. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I just I don't know. At the end of the day, I just think all this stuff it's trying to put a Band-Aid on what all these moves that have been made. NIL, the portal, it's just created chaos across college football and college sports in general. It's not going to get fixed by any singular thing, and this is just a Band-Aid. And I don't think it's going to completely fix it.
No.
I don't know if you agree with that. I think it will, but most people that I've seen have not been very...
it looks like Saban just like wasted everyone's time by making this a committee, but...
Definitely doesn't look promising. I mean, college football is never going to be the same. I mean, all the older fans that loved the game back in the 80s and 90s, 70s, it's never going to go back to the way it was. It's not even going to go back to the way it was when we were a kid. It's long gone. I mean, I know people are like, well, you're going to keep watching it. It's, I agree. I'm going to keep watching college sports, but this stuff's a joke. It is a joke. I mean, again, I'm not anti these players making money, and I don't blame the players for taking the money. I don't. Again, if we were athletes, we'd be doing the same thing. It's just this system is broken. It is broken, and this doesn't fix it. Like Scotty said, the way it is now, though, it is not sustainable long term. It is not. And I think that this house settlement thing, I give it like a D at best. It does not fix the problem. It's just a temporary band-aid. It's more like an illusion to seem like, hey, we fixed it. You can't fix this with one thing. It's just not the way it is. But that is that's the way I see the house settlement. I'm sure more stuff is gonna, I'm sure more is gonna come out with all this. Maybe some more legislation. But this is all we got right now, and I just don't think it's a great thing. But
I mean, I'm worried about these players. Like, they're gonna not get a degree, and then they won't have crap to do if they don't make the NFL.
And that's why they need to keep the academic side of it as important, as at the forefront. And that's why it's like, oh, they're not employees, they're student athletes. But you've taken so many of these 17 and 18-year-olds going into college are going to see is this. They're seeing bills. Like, oh my gosh, I'm a great player. I'm going to make money. And it's like that in and of itself is going to take their mind off of being a engineer or going to school for something, like that, where after their football career is over. Because think about it. What did Jerry Rice say? What did he famously say? Only 2% go pro. 2%. Well, it's like, all right, most players knew they were never going to be in the NFL. Most knew they weren't going to be in the NBA. So it's like, I have to get a degree. That's what I'm going to college for, but I'm getting a scholarship to play sports. Yay. So I'm getting...
But Scotty, how was it better, though? Like, how was it better, Scotty? Just tell us. We aren't understanding that's better.
I don't see it as being better. I mean, I guess you say the cap, but they're still going to allow outside stuff. So, I mean, I want to believe it's going to be better, but I don't see it. So, those are my thoughts. Yeah.
Anything else you think we should talk about?
I think my stomach's wanting. I'm wanting to eat some dinner.
All right. Yeah, I ate before I was getting on.
Yeah,
so
you're good, man. You're good. Hopefully, we can do this again soon, though. Hopefully, we can do another preview for another conference and talk about some other stuff. Maybe we can do like another NBA Finals update. Like later on before it's over, or even if it's already over, then we could do that. So, yeah, I mean, definitely appreciate everybody for being here tonight. Thanks for the super chat, Jackson. Definitely appreciate the super sticker. Really appreciate you for stopping by. Appreciate everybody for being here. It was great to be live again. I haven't done anything on my channel in a long time, and thanks, Will, for suggesting we do a stream. Glad I was able to do it tonight. So, well, I'm sure. I mean, definitely, I wish I could stay on and talk more. I could talk about the NCAA forever. Maybe we can do that next stream if we're able to.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for being here, everybody.